your number one hype gal here, and welcome to the weekly warm-up, your weekly dose to feel a little more confident and a lot more human. I'm Jess McDowell, and each week I'll share life updates, mindset shifts, product faves, the little things that help me stay grounded, energized, and moving and grooving. Whether you're heading out for a jog, sipping your morning coffee, or just need a midweek pick-me-up, this is your warm-up for living a real balanced life. So take a breath, shake it out, and let's dive in. There are multiple helicopters outside my building right now. There must be an accident outside somewhere because they've just been beep bopping around. Slightly annoying. I thought someone was chiseling, but no, it's helicopters because I took my dog for a walk and I figured it out. Oh, y'all, this is going to be a tough episode for me. I am just feeling like donkey. I am PMSing and it's just not, it's not good. I'm not feeling comfortable. I'm feeling suffocated. I'm feeling swollen and gross and oily and all the things, but we're getting it done. And that is probably the most relatable thing that I am going to say on the podcast today. So that is that. But we're back in action, yet another episode. Welcome to the weekly warm up. Last solo episode for a hot minute. I wanted just to spend some time with y'all. So I figured I'd do 2 solo episodes and then continue on with my lovely guests. So let's dive in. You know what I've been thinking about lately and wondering is when certain letters are placed after each other and they have to be, for instance, who decided that the letter Q and U have to be simultaneously after each other? There's typically never a word that you don't spell that doesn't have a Q and a U next to it. Who decided that? Who decided that AEIOU were going to be the vowels? You know, I just think about it all the time. I think about why words are spelled the same, but they're pronounced differently. I do know that the English language, as in American English, however you want to say it, is the most botched, bonkers language. And I'm pretty sure that it's also made fun of. But it doesn't make sense to me that read and read, but then we have REED, and that's more towards a name. And then we have the different lay, lie, LIE. This is where the ADD just really takes off. And I would love to know the purpose behind it. I'd love to know the purpose behind it. And if you're that person, reach out to me. I want to have you on. That would be a really cool guest to actually have on, is someone that is linguistics? Is that linguistics? Would this be a speech? Well, I am going to have a guest on that's a speech pathologist, but that's completely different. It's a whole other level. But do I need to get linguistics or an English teacher? It's probably like an English teacher. If you're an English teacher, an English major, reach out to me, please, because I want to learn more about the English language. You know what I should do is I should ask my social media intern, Gracie. She probably would know somebody potentially. And if not, I should just ask her to get me in touch with somebody at the University of Miami since it's here, and I can interview them on the English language because I have some questions to ask. Let me tell you, my lower back is just killing me. I think I might move to my couch. Honestly, I've been loving this little nook that I've been doing in the back with my picture. I actually brought that back from Europe when I was just there in April. I got that in Sweden. And then I rode it in a train back to Denmark and then flew it and checked it back to Miami. And I love her and she's the absolute best. Another thing I've been thinking about lately is who made up the cuss words? Who made up a cuss word? And I think it's hilarious. I need to put my hair up. I love my hair down and I know I look so beautiful with it down, but all I do is play with it. And I also cannot stand when I'm just recording myself because all I do is stare at myself. It is quite awkward, to tell you the least. I mean, obviously, if you're sitting at home listening to me and lounging, it's relatable. It's only the worst when you're having to do clips and you look at yourself. I'm oily or you're looking rough one day. Damn. And then this is going into a clip and being put on social media. I mean, people have seen me worse, but it's just a little bit of a ego kick to the face. I'm gonna take a sip. Back to the cuss words. Who decided on that? Who thought it was a genius idea to take a select amount of words and make them to turn into something where we perceive it as vulgar, as an insult, as one of the worst things you could say to a person, ruins friendships, ruins marriages, ruins relationships. You get kicked out of school. You're told you're trash or a potty mouth if you say it. I just think it's crazy. Imagine if you were that person that got to pick the cuss words. What an honor. What an honor to be that person. I should probably Google it. Let me Google it. No one invented curse words, but rather they've evolved naturally within languages and cultures over time. Words became taboo and gained power as curse words by the community's agreement on their offensive meaning. This transformation can happen when originally innocent words become associated with private bodily functions, private parts, or religious concepts that are considered taboo. So then I need to Google what the origin of the word fuck means. Is that what I'm saying? Examples of word evolution, fart, crap, The fact that Google thinks that's a cuss word, that fart and crap is considered a curse word when you Google the meaning or the background of curse words. Golly, the participation medals. All right, hold on. Let me figure this out. Who invented cuss words? Okay, here we go. So maybe I should have said cuss words instead of curse words. The F word. Theories trace its etymology back to German and Dutch words, and its earliest written appearances in English date to the 15th and 16th centuries. Okay, but that doesn't answer my question. The C word, this word too, was once a straightforward atomical term found in medical texts before it became a deeply offensive profanity. You know what that was probably? It was probably a really pissed off woman that was giving birth or something. And she freaked out because someone was being an asshole to her and they said it. And then someone said, wow, I can just picture this right now. This needs to be a skit. I can picture it right now that someone in the hospital or in the medical field, yep, called another word a C word because someone was hooking up with each other, in the supply closet and got caught. All right, hold on. The sh word. Can we just call it for what it is? I like how it's the sh word and not the S word. This has roots in Old English words like skite, which evolved from the Proto Germanic skit. Okay. Linguistic theory. So it was linguistics. Gosh, I'm so smart. Linguistic theories suggest that people intentionally seek out words that are shocking or insulting to express their feelings in ways that standard words cannot. Okay, totally get it. Well done. If only I were cool enough to invent a cuss word. Who knows, maybe one day. As someone that is ADD, ADHD, whatever you want to call it, I know it's two different terms and it means two different things. I would say I'm definitely hyperactive as well. So I would put myself in the ADHD category. I was diagnosed years ago. I was diagnosed in middle school, I believe, and by the doctor, my psychiatrist that I still see today. Let's just say that it wasn't one of those, I just want to be medicated so I can pass college. The craziest part about it is that in middle school, I was starting to be prescribed Adderall. And of course, being a good middle schooler, very square, follow the rules, I refused to take the Adderall because I thought it was a drug and I didn't take drugs. And I said, nope, I'm not doing it. That changed when ninth grade hit. I said, where the is that shit? I said, put it in my belly, please. But no, honestly, it has been a game changer for me. And that is not why we're talking about being ADHD, but I'm an open book. But I wanted to talk about maintaining attentional focus. Something for me is that I can maintain attentional focus, but I'm like a squirrel. So I get very focused on something and very fixated on something. But the second my brain thinks about something else, so if I'm in the midst of something, the second my brain thinks about something else, I can get distracted and squirrel. A lot of the times it is for my benefit because I'm very good at multitasking, so good at multitasking. I'm very, very good at getting tasks done and staying focused on certain tasks and then moving on. But there are times where I can get a little scatterbrained and squirrel and get a little hyperactive and I'm doing this and that and this and that. And I have to step back and say, okay, work smarter, not harder. I have a feeling too that that's a lot of us today just because of how, the work culture is or how our culture is where we don't stop. I kind of talked about this in the last episode. We're just go, go, go. And We're taking things from all different, directions. One thing I always thought was really wild is that, and I'm going to read this because it's a fact, it's a statistic. On average, people engage in about 4,000 distinct thoughts in a 16-hour day. 4,000 distinct thoughts in a 16-hour day. I almost want to do my own focus study on this, market research, and see if I can mark down, even if it means I just carry a pen with me and mark it on my body. No, carry a pen and a paper or something. Or I would say mark it on my phone, but I know I would get distracted or I'd forget with it just being on the phone. It would need to be something physical in my hand to remember and mark down every time I had a thought. It also goes to show how stinking advanced and just powerful our minds are, which then leads back to how our thoughts are and that we really control our thoughts. We are powerful enough to control how we feel and what we do. The fact that we have 4,000 thoughts, right? Did I say 4,000 thoughts in a 16-hour? Yeah, 16-hour day. I would love to know, and I did not research this, so this is a bad journalism on my part. I would love to know of those 4,000 thoughts, how many do we actually follow through on or remember or think through, Yeah, exactly. We're on the same page with that. I just think it's insane that our brain is so powerful that we can't even comprehend how powerful and strong it is, and that it can take a lifetime to rewire our brain and work our brain to work for you and not against you, especially like I've talked about with mental health, but also to manifesting or prayer, whatever it is that you do. And then it kind of goes back to with our thoughts, but also with manifesting and visualizing, what you want in life, your future, what you want to do. And then our thoughts as well, that if you're constantly looking at something every day, you're wiring your brain to believe and to live that way, the fake it till you make it, which I really don't believe in because it's not really faking anything till you make it. I believe it's just acting as the person that you want to be, which is always going to hopefully be a better version of yourself or something that you want to achieve in life. I think the fake it till you make it almost gets people to start believing and thinking that they're faking it until they're making it, but also the imposter syndrome, which is another thing that I look at negatively. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a pessimist when I say that, but I look at, manifesting and thinking forward as envisioning yourself as who you are and what you're wanting to become and work towards. It's just crazy to think that, see, this is what I'm talking about. See, I started talking about something and then I squirreled and started talking about something else, but it's all relative. That's what I do. But how we look at something every day, if we're seeing something every day, if we're telling ourselves something every day, eventually we're going to believe it or it's going to come to fruition. That to me is creepy and cool and also really, really, really terrifying because when we're going through, tough times in our life and the things that we say to ourselves, we're just hurting our hearts and we're hurting our brains. We are literally beating ourselves up to the point where we're starting to believe something that isn't true. It's just sad. It really is. It's depressing and it's sad. So I challenge you to think about the fact that we have 4,000 thoughts in a 16-hour time span and how you can utilize those 4,000 thoughts to your benefit and your power in making yourself feel strong, capable, healthy, and worthy. The helicopters are finally gone. Thank the Lord. It was just annoying. I actually started Googling what's going on because I am definitely nosy when it comes to that stuff. Let me tell you something. I am all about murder mysteries, not hoping that anyone got murdered, but what I'm saying is I'm all about the drama. I love action. I love drama. I love documentaries. I love to be in people's businesses that I probably shouldn't be in when it comes to that type of stuff. You best believe I'm going to be in bed tonight Googling what happened. And I will have all of the 411 down pat before I close my eyes to discuss it tomorrow. Let me tell you. I remember when athleisure wear became a thing. Truly. I know that sounds crazy, but athleisure wear was not always a $1 billion brand or a $1 billion industry as it is today. It was obviously a successful industry, but there were only your top contenders. Nike, Adidas, Reebok, New Balance. I think K Swiss was in the mix, maybe. We had Fubu. But as obviously we've evolved. Athleisure wear became a billion-dollar industry because we had more access to creating brands and building brands. And then I think in college for me is when I really started to notice the boom. And that's actually, yes, in college it was because I remember one of my senior year thesis projects I had to do is I had to rebrand a company that was failing essentially and why it was failing, then how you would remarket it and rebrand it. I graduated from Alabama, University of Alabama, with a bachelor's in advertising from the communication school, which is a top 10 school for advertising. And I picked Lululemon because at the time, Lululemon was plummeting. And this is when athleisure wear started to become a thing. This is when leggings started to become a thing, where, or not, I don't want to say become a thing. It probably is coming back because if you think about it, we're revolving, we're hamster wheel. Anyways, but I did a whole rebrand on the fact that Lululemon was selling leggings that ended up being see through. And I don't know if anyone remembers that, but it was a big thing. And that these leggings became see through. It was what was their original legging called? Oh, gosh, I don't remember. I'd have to go look. I have it all saved still, like in my cloud. But their legging was see through and how I would rebrand it. That to me was just such a monumental moment of the rebrand. I really should share some of this on social media and show you guys because it was sick, honestly. And the ideas that I had is crazy because fast forward 10 years from then, I actually will say I was the first one to come up with the mere workout and the mere fitness idea. I swear my life, and I kick myself to this day for not acting on it, which is why I don't tell people my secrets anymore. Not that anyone stole that. All I'm saying is that. But a lot of the stuff that I did in college when it came to branding, like I created my own athleisure company called Inflex, things like that. So it always came back to some sort of sport or fitness activewear, which always leads me to believe that I'll probably launch my own activewear company one day or an activewear collab, athletics. But that being said, that was the era of when the industry really took a boom and it was everywhere that it became this billion-dollar company, or not company, excuse me, billion-dollar industry. People are just flying off the charts buying leggings and it expanded as far as pieces goes. It really is wild to think how now the wellness industry is the boom. Whereas it's become this billion-dollar industry. I think I have it written down exactly the billions, 100 billion annually on wellness. US consumers are spending 100 billion annually on wellness. Wellness obviously isn't just fitness and health as far as nutrition goes. That is supplementation. That is recovery. That is including, I'm not going to go as far as cosmetic goes, but it definitely includes, my NAD shot that I do. I need to talk about that, by the way. We'll talk about that next. But NAD shots, IVs, trigger massages, cupping, acupuncture, hyperbaric chambers, chirotherapy, the compression boots, going in and getting PT and getting chiropractor, going in for different types of electrotherapy. Why can't I say it properly? There's just a lot. There's a lot. People, the infrared sauna blankets, etc. The masks for the skincare, that's considered wellness. People would rather go and do that for a day than go on a staycation day or go away on a vacation in a sense. Now, let's be real. I'm not talking a European vacation. What I'm saying is people would much rather do that on their day off than go and do something which would normally have been going to eat or go out and drink, which is now considered a little taboo. I love it. I've been on this train for as long as I can remember. So people are just catching up to me. Thank God. It's just such an interesting industry and how it's evolving. And then we're talking about biohacking. So living longer and how you're reversing aging, which a little bit does get Stepford Housewives scary. And I question some of their theories in the head that they're kind of coming up with. Unless you're going to freeze yourself in time, okay, Austin Powers, there's no real truth to reversing your age. You can do anti-aging steps, if you want to call it, such as NAD, where it's, producing cells that you already have or replicating cells that you already have, but you're not getting younger. You're not going from I'm 35 to 34. That's where I always find where it gets a little wacky. But It's such an interesting industry that is evolving and how there's new studies coming out all the time. There's new procedures coming out all the time that you can do. And I'm all here for it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Put me in a cold plunge after a solid workout or a massage. Like I have my girl that comes to me and gives me this trigger massage for about 70 minutes, I think, to 90 minutes. It's absolutely insane. It's transformative. I will literally run the fastest I ever can run after I get it done with my cupping and everything. Like, I'm all for it. I think my favorite thing about the wellness industry is how it's bringing community together, but it also has its highs and lows. I think as far as dating culture goes, it's helped a lot. I think it's great as far as how I've talked about social anxiety and bringing people together because we're craving that human connection. But I also think that it's turning into what I call you're going in and you're spending, say, a couple $100 and you're getting all these procedures. But at the same time, is it really geared towards your wellness or is it geared towards the social aspect of it, as in social media? Is it really geared towards just promotion and just filling up a room of hundreds or thousands of people? And are people actually leaving fulfilled? And is the majority leaving fulfilled, or is it just a small 10% that you're trying to market to that are leaving fulfilled? For me personally, I think that there's a size when it comes to wellness, and there's a size when it comes to intimacy that you want to focus on. Because when you start going into the hundreds and the thousands, you're taking away that personable intimacy and you're actually causing anxiety. You're causing stress because you're causing lineups. You're causing people to feel like there's too much going on and they're overwhelmed and overstimulated. And that's typically not the point of wellness. That's typically not the point of hosting wellness events, and to be on this level where it's more about who got the most people to an event, who got the most brands to event. Are the brands aligning with what kind of event you're hosting? Are you aligning with what the people want? Are you having people leave and genuinely feeling satisfied for it? Or are you just trying to turn over, meaning, okay, so out of these hundreds of people that came, only 20% are repeats, only 15% are repeats, but the rest, whatever that would be, what, 80% are new people. So then are you really building a community, or are you just building in a one stop shop or a rotating, I tried it out, it was cool, and on to the next? And I think because any city you go to, any place you go to, especially cities, they have endless wellness events. They have endless activities that you can do, which is amazing. But I find that when it starts to become this big conglomerate, fade away from what the whole purpose of it is, it's interesting and we'll see where it goes. I mean, right now it's all the rave, but in, let's say, 5 years from now, who knows what the big it trend will be, what billion-dollar industry will take a turn and take over the wellness industry. Either way, I love it. Obviously, I'm in it. I have no intentions of ever leaving this realm of my career. I think about it all the time. It's not weird. It's interesting. I think about it, yeah, all the time. Okay. We just had to switch up the location because of the lighting. Not that this is better. Actually, I like this. One thing I love about just filming my podcast is that it's as if we're just hanging out, chit-chatting. I think that it is more personable. I don't like it when I feel when I'm listening to a podcast that you're in an interview, meaning you're in a job interview or you're in an office and you have to be prim and proper. I love that it's just so chill, laid back. You're just listening. We're just chit chatting. We're just shooting the shit. It's a lot of fun. I love it. I'm a big supplements gal, and something I put on my list is supplements I swear by and ones I drop. I find that supplements can be overwhelming to people, or that they don't really understand what to take or why they need to take it or how and when. And I felt like maybe I could help break it down just a smidge. I don't want to go over everything that I take or that I've tried because, again, I'm in a different space than most people in the sense that I get supplements that people, brands want me to try. And then I have all different ones and I switch them out. Or I am in the wellness and health and fitness and nutrition industry. So, I have access to different things. But one brand that I have consistently always been very in love with and a big fan of is Primal Harvest. I've been doing it or taking it for 5, 6 years, 5 years, and I'm obsessed. If you want to use my code, you can. But for me, I'm going to just break it down what you really should be taking. Now, this is on a female perspective, obviously, but three things I can't live without are greens, creatine, and collagen, especially the greens that I take because they have 51 superfoods and 3.5 billion CFUs, so probiotics. Basically, you're not just taking a greens powder, you're also taking essentially what your multivitamins would be for the day as well. So it's just a jam-packed all-in-one supplement that truly is effective. I've been on it or taking it for years and I love it and I can't go without it. And I notice when I don't take it, let me tell you. And it's just really great. It's worth it. It's very marketable as far as price goes. And you only need a little scoop, comes with enough. It's a powder. It tastes good. I love it. So greens is definitely on the list. From there would be creatine. Creatine, I think I talked about this one of my first episodes, but creatine is a supplement that helps with building lean muscle. Lean muscle. You're not bulking, you're building lean tone muscle. It's a really, really, really great supplement to have. It also helps with performance and recovery. I strongly suggest taking a creatine. I will take all of these, by the way, in the morning, typically after a workout, just because I don't want that much liquid in my body. But creatine you could do before and after, depending on how you're wanting to use it. If you're using it for performance, then obviously taking it before, but also you could use it after because you're still, protein synthesis, your muscles are still gonna get lean and tone from it. Again, it's not for bulking, you're not gonna gain weight, it's creatine. It's not a whey protein, it's not a bulk supplement. And then the third is collagen, obviously for reasons hair, skin, and nails. It's very good for those three things. And having type 1 and type 2 collagen is very beneficial. I like the collagen that I take because I can tell that it's actually working because when you put it in cold water, crystallizes quick, which means it sticks to say your straw. Whereas if you're doing it in warm water, it ends up actually breaking down better and mixing in as a liquid. And that means that it's actually working. If you're noticing that when you're taking collagen and you're mixing it in with water and say cold water and it's just evaporating and going away, then it's most likely not authentic, just letting you know. From there, I mean, if you're not going to do the greens, I skip a multivitamin, a woman's multivitamin or a multivitamin in general because I'm on the greens. Then from there, electrolytes, because that's going to hit your minerals. You need minerals in your body, potassium, magnesium, and sodium, especially. And then I'm big on doing like a chlorophyll. That's really good, or a fulvic acid. And you will notice a difference truly in your energy levels. You'll notice a difference maybe with deep dark circles under your eyes, even with brain function. Trust me, most people that aren't sweating or that are feeling really fatigued all the time. And if you're feeling lethargic, it's most likely because you're lacking minerals. Honestly, if you had those supplements, you would be good to go, truly. I think that over supplementing is a big issue today. There's so many different types of supplements, and everyone wants you to take this for brain fog, or take this for energy, or take this so you live longer. And we're overthinking it. Yes, of course, you could take different types of mushroom blends, which I think are great. There's a lot of cool supplements with mushroom in it. Like I said, the greens has a mushroom blend in it. Oh, did I mention that? No, 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 I didn't. Yeah, so the greens also has a mushroom blend in it. You want to think about one, you're not doubling up. So if you're taking a multivitamin and greens, you're kind of being wasteful. So you're spending more money than you need to, and it's not necessary. And then also, if you're over supplementing, meaning you're taking too many vitamins and minerals, you'll know because one, you won't really pee as much, but when you pee, it could smell or it's really, really yellow. Now, there's a difference between hydration, but you'll know the difference. Trust me. Magnesium. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot magnesium, 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 magnesium. Well, that's electrolytes, but you want to do a magnesium in the evening for muscle relaxation, mind relaxation, calming. I cannot tell you beneficial that it is for me and how it helps, but I trust me when I say taking a magnesium in the evening as a powder magnesium, and it's more of a calming type magnesium, is amazing. The Primal Harvest has a magnesium supplement that I can take at night too and during the day. It's not like it's going to make you fall asleep, but there are calming magnesium, so it's just a different type and what's put into it. I am absolutely obsessed with magnesium. So that's on the list. So I would say the greens, creatine, collagen, magnesium, and then your electrolytes, which again, Primal Harvest does have I'm really just speaking for Primal Harvest today, which is crazy, but they have a good hydration stick too. If you have sugar in your electrolytes, don't use it. I always say too that you can reach out to me if you have questions about supplements. They are so powerful and they're so great for you. And they really do help enhance your body naturally because it works with your body. And I cannot live without supplements at all. Dang, these helicopters are really just coming by. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on, y'all, because it is just nonstop over here. Wow. I hope everyone's okay. I want to talk about NAD. NAD. It's great. I love it. I have been on it for 4 or 5 weeks now. I am working with a brand, Bespoke, that reached out to me about starting NAD and working with them as a partner. I love it. They've dosed me, and I believe this is pretty standard where you start low and you go up high. So I am on now 40 units where I originally started with 10 and I take it 3 times a week. I am obsessed. I'm thriving. I'm thriving off of it. I love how my energy levels have maintained. I don't get that 2 o'clock slump, if you want to call it. I have noticed a difference definitely in my skin. I will say I've noticed a difference in my metabolism. It's a weird I don't wanna say it's a weird feeling 'cause you're not feeling anything. You notice a difference. You've noticed a difference because you obviously knew who you were before it. It really is easy. I administer it with a needle in my belly 3 times a week, like I said. The doctor that you do it is online. They ship it to you. It's all safe. It's all verified. It's a legal prescription. It has your name on it. Actually comes in a prescription bottle. But the supplement itself, NAD, is awesome. I actually broke this down and had a really great conversation with Jenny, who is my cosmetic esthetician nurse practitioner. What, 2 episodes ago? I think 2 or 3 episodes ago, you can go and find it. We talk about NAD and how it is anti aging, how it's replicating your cells. I will say, out of all the different crazy things that we could be doing, vouch for it. I love it. Try it if you can. And then glutathione, am I saying that right? I love that shot too. But when they give you that, whoa, it literally kind of makes sure you jiggle, but you get it in your ass and you feel it. It's almost like, not when your leg falls asleep, kind of like when your leg falls asleep. It's just a weird tension feeling that just goes down your leg. But glutathione is amazing. I actually need to go in this week or so and get another shot, because I love it. It's so good. You will literally feel like you are on cloud nine. Your body, the energy, your performance. I was a ninja that week. It was amazing. I love it. These are the types of wellness and supplements, or that's not a supplement, but these are the types of procedures and wellness hacks that I will go down a deep dark hole on and I will vouch for, just because they're so amazing. And if you can do it, trust me, do it. They're legal, by the way. Get on it. Get on some NAD. Go get your glutathione shot. I don't think you can do the glutathione. I think, am I saying that right? At home, but the NAD you can, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. How podcasts have improved loneliness. I was thinking about this because, I've talked about social anxiety. I'm big in talking about mental health. We're not perfect. I certainly am not. I don't try to be. I always want to become a better version of myself. I always want to keep learning. I want people to feel inspired by me. I want people to want to come to me and, for instance, listen to this podcast and trust what I say, and that I would never steer people in the wrong direction. I was thinking about is how I really love listening to podcasts. It does. It improves loneliness in the sense of we can be in your car, we can be on your TV, we can be in your ear. There are so many different options out there of podcasts. just like everything, it's going to be oversaturated. That's typical. I love that there is a podcast for everyone and everything. These are the things I wrote down. I was saying how it's a safe space for introverts or extroverts with social anxiety, like I talked about last podcast. It's just something where you can listen to people and it be relatable and you can laugh or you can cry, you can learn. It's just a cesspool of imagination and knowledge. And then I talked about just a sense of community. Obviously, 99.9% of the podcasts I listen to, I've never met these people. Obviously, when you're bigger, you're signed with a media company, you're going to know people because you're recording in the same podcast studio another podcast is. But at the same time, it's just bringing in this community of people, which I really like that I can turn on a podcast and I feel as if we're just together, that they're my people and I'm your people. And I also like that with podcasts, at least for me, because again, I am not yet signed to a media agency and I'm not yet the biggest podcast there is. There's no competition in a sense of drama. You've never heard, well, there has been drama, but what I mean is you never hear about people competing against each other in a podcast or arguing or having drama in the podcast world, Like obviously there's top chart podcasts, cool, but there's not that crazy competition like there would be with other media outlets that just every podcaster is just doing their thing. And then you're relating to others. I have never felt more seen listening to a podcast in my entire life. And I like that because then I have confirmed that I am not a psycho nutbag, that I am normal. Because if I'm experiencing it and other people are experiencing it, then that means that you're normal. Well, no, because who wants to be normal? But I like that you're able to relate to people on the most outlandish, wild situations or the most basic, normal, day to day human situations. And it kind of just brings you back again to the community and relatability, especially in a world where we're not feeling that and we're feeling very isolated and we're feeling very lonely. That podcasts are taking that away, taking that stigma away and bringing us together. And you can interact in podcasts, even though you're not having a conversation back and forth. You can comment, or most likely there is an Instagram or a YouTube channel that's connected to the podcast. So it's taking you even further from just listening, but then also kind of bringing you in to where you can have those conversations or you can comment or you can review and write and relate, and I like that. It's just another outlet that you can reach people. My next topic was creating human interaction, but that kind of answered it with the being able to relate to others. But yeah, you're creating that human interaction. Well, even this, now podcasts are becoming live. People are doing live tours and live studio podcasts, and people are coming to watch almost as if it's stand up. And I love that. I like that they're doing podcast panels, and then they're bringing in creators and they're bringing in all different minds, not creators meaning just content creators or influencers, but entrepreneurs, creators, business owners, whatever it may be in general. And I like that a lot. But now we have actors, we have some of the biggest A-list celebrities in the world having podcasts. We have athletes. We have, did I say authors? Yeah, we have authors. We have amazing speakers. We have moms. We have young college kids. We have people from all different ages and walks of life creating podcasts and talking. And you can literally just open up your phone or open up your computer or whatever it is and have something that you want to listen to if you're in the mood for it. If you're feeling lonely, listen to my podcast because I guarantee you, you will no longer feel lonely. If anything, you will just have to hear me yapping in your ear. Yep, 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 yep. I love podcasts. Podcasts are the best. I listen to podcasts often. I do love music. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not like a music buff where I have like music is in my soul. Some people are like that where listening to music is an expression of speech and living and form and life. I'm not like that. I love music, but I just crave podcasts. I crave hearing people's opinions and talking. I crave learning new things. And it's cool that they're also doing podcasts where it's like news, where it's like they're doing it every day. That's a full-time job on its own right there, where you're just doing it every day. Cool. I would do that. I would definitely do that. I love that. And just talk about everything and everything. Okie dokie. This is the segment that everyone I know is always waiting for, and that is products I'm digging this week. So we're going to break it down right now because my dog is hungry and he's going to start letting me know. All right, products I'm digging this week. Welker, Becca. A couple of these are from Trader Joe's. So the Trader Joe's Welker, he's trying to get in segment. No, sir. All right, so we are going to be doing a food segment, it looks like, and they're all cold and they're on my lap. First and foremost is the Trader Joe's Greek non-fat yogurt coconut cream. So I'm not going to say that this is the best as out there for you as far as health purposes goes. It does have 15 grams of sugar, which is not ideal, and it does have 0% fat, which you want the fat, especially in a Greek yogurt. This is just decadent. I love it. We like it. So Trader Joe's. I don't, can you see it right here? I just discovered this the other day. So unfortunately, my mom creates bad habits for my dog. And one of those is that he gets pup cups and now he's going to freak out. So she gives him one. Usually it's once a day and that's that. Don't come for me. He's healthy. Trust me. He just went to the vet. He's very skinty. He only eats fresh pet food and literally it's called Fresh Pet, I think, and it's delivered all the time. She is obsessed with him. Anyways, so he gets those and I now have to do that. So I was at Trader Joe's and I got this thinking that it was whipped cream, but it is chocolate whipped cream, which it says it right there. But because it's in cursive, I just read whipped cream, which also goes to show that's really interesting for a branding segment, but it's really freaking good. So this on top of the coconut cream yogurt is an ideal sweet treat, is obviously better than for you than eating a tres leche cake from Trader Joe's, which I have done and do have. Obsessed. Moving on, I used to always make coffee in the morning. I love coffee. I love an espresso. I have an espresso machine. In the last couple months, I've just not been having coffee in the morning, which is totally fine. I mean, I have my Celsius before I work out, and that's that. I'll have a coffee in the morning once in a while, or, on slow mornings, I like to make a nice espresso coffee and have a little shake and, brown sugar espresso kind of vibe. But, well, it's not brown sugar, actually. It's cinnamon with honey. I like these Le Colombe. I don't know if I'm saying it right coffees. This is the draft latte. It's triple latte. So it's triple shot. Yes, I don't mess around. Cold brew with milk, frothy and creamy. I actually really like these a lot. I usually don't like the can coffees or espressos just because they're either horribly bad for you or they taste like the chemicals that are in them. This does not. Let me see. It only has 7 grams of sugar, so I'm okay with that. Last but certainly not least is True Sea Moss, Sea Moss Gel Superfood. Amazing. I love this. This is the mango and pineapple. I get this at Sprouts Farm, or not Farmers Market, Sprouts Market. It tastes so good. Obviously, the benefits of sea moss. I believe it's really good. Yeah, it's skin, immune, energy, detox. It's just all in all really great. That's what I also have too. And those are the products that I'm digging this week. And we finished another episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I was all over the place today, like normal. What's new? I'll see you next week. And that's that.